Guys, what's up? My name's Keith Krantz, and I'm super excited to take you through this training today. Got my my old Sam Cart shirt on. Figured I'd do this, and I told Scott and Brian that I would, record a separate training. Normally we do like a 2.5 hour training with Q&A and stuff to go through some of this stuff. So I'm going to try to condense it down to much shorter than that. But I still have a lot of information, so bear with me. I'm going to be basically taking you through presentations, keynote slides. I'm going to be bouncing back and forth from Keynote to TikTok desktop, also to my app, to be showing you videos, analytics, hashtag searches, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to be bouncing around quite a bit, so bear with me, take notes, and let's get into it. I'm going to be going through why TikTok, how to go viral on TikTok, hashtag formula that I use and recommend people use, specifically based on the volume of hashtags and what you're trying to go after. Best video types, best video styles that get more followers. Not just go viral, but get more followers. And there's something that's very important there that we're going to get into. It's actually easier to do and very important as the algorithm changes. So times to post, biggest mistakes, and really just in general, what I've learned after over 1.2 billion video views through Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok over the last 12, 13 years or so. So who's this for? Creators, artists, influencers. So if you're somebody that has a message you want to get out there, or you want to make an impact, or you have art, musical art, any kind of art, brands, e-commerce businesses, digital product businesses, consultants and coaches, local and service-based businesses, all of the above. Maybe you're somebody that helps these types of people. This is for you today. So let's get into it. First, number one, TikTok is not just teenagers dancing and doing lip syncs and trending videos anymore. Not even close. Instagram started out as a pure photo sharing app. Facebook started out as a college gossip site, essentially, right? And look what it is now. TikTok started out as Musical.ly. That's what it was. And this is one of the reasons it's so cool, because you don't have to worry about, if you're making videos, the editing is simple, because you don't have to find music and find royalty-free music, because guess what? That's part of the whole TikTok experience, is choosing their music, which is all royalty free and it's big names. Sometimes you can hack the music literally and just mute it in the background to help your video go viral more, even if you don't want background music. This is the current distribution of TikTok users based on age demographics. 25% 10 to 19, 22% 20 to 29, 21% 30 to 39, 20.3% 40 to 49, 11% 50 plus. And you got to realize that every month that goes by, this thing starts getting more heavily weighted to the right of this thing. And look at this, 40 to 49 it's literally 1% less than 30 to 39, which is 1% less than 20 to 29. And we know, we're on there, the older demographics, everything ages up. And the fastest growing by far is the 40 to 49 and up, and 50 plus. Right now, as I'm speaking, that's probably realistically, probably closer to 12, 13, 14%, honestly, because these stats are so lagging. Trending format and placements. What do you think Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts are? They're copycats of TikTok. This is because that's the cool platform. So the other platforms are the old platforms, and they are trying to keep up. They're the restaurant that people are flowing out of and into TikTok. This is what's happening, and it's continually. It's only a matter of time. We're talking about months and years as this slowly moves over to TikTok, okay? We are still at the very beginning phases, and for me, it's a perfect time, because it's this perfect scenario of a platform, and I'll get into this, that's maturing but not fully aged up yet. TikTok is actually, the algorithm itself is kind of crazy. It's like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube combined almost. People think TikTok's like Instagram, social media platform, but realistically, it's actually more like YouTube, and it's a content consumption platform. So, for example, my son uses it when he's bored, right? We use Facebook, Instagram when we're bored, typically. We scroll it and we're kind of bored, we're looking around, want to be entertained. Typically, we'll use YouTube to be entertained or learn something, to watch longer form content. Well, he uses TikTok for both. He wants to go learn something about like pressure washing or airsoft guns or something like that. He goes and uses TikTok search. I use YouTube, which is crazy, right? So this is where it's all heading. So it's used for both. And guess what? On the ad side of things, which is my background, you can already run ads on TikTok, which is massive opportunity over the next few years as well. But they are now rolling out search ads. And so this is all going to make more opportunity for creators as well that are building an organic following, because it's just more revenue for the platform, more revenue they can share. and more businesses that are showing up there. So I decided to jump on there, and I had some more passion-based life calling type of content, not business content. Okay, this is content where nobody knew who I was, nobody has ever heard of me or anything like that. Okay, started brand new, didn't tell one person about my account, didn't email my list, anybody. I literally had 3 followers. 6 weeks later, I had 22,000 followers. Then after about 10 weeks, I had 100,000 followers. I was averaging about 10,000 followers every single week. And after the first 5-6 weeks, I was only posting two videos a week. Okay, I started out with a little more than that, but more importantly, I'm using the frameworks that I'm going to be showing you guys today. And this is just on the right side. That's just a 60-day snapshot. 3.5 million views, 129,000 profile views, 277,000 likes, 6,800 comments, 37,000 shares. Not doing 3 videos a day. We're talking 3 videos a week. Now, I'm sharing this stuff, and like people are already getting results. This is Shane here, principal, high school principal. First video is all excited, messages me, gets 58,000 views. Next day, after my, I think module 1 of my mini course that we have, like a little 5 module course that we're selling for pretty cheap, and so he's part of that. And so 58,000 views. Then he's like, yeah, more organic views than 10 years on Facebook. I keep hearing this over and over from people. More than 10 years on Facebook, more than 10 years on YouTube in like 2 weeks or 2 months. And so it's pretty cool. Then next day, a few days later, 1.8 million views. 407, let's go to this so I can use my pointer. 1.8 million views. That's that video that had 58,000. And then a few days later, another one, 400,000 views. Okay. Josh Orion, he was bummed out. His first 22 videos just were not getting any traction. And then I told him, you gotta get better at your hooks, your style. You gotta bring in your storytelling. You gotta just up your game a little bit more. And it's only a matter of time. Kept learning, kept putting out some more videos. And now it's starting to take off. He's got his first video that's got 100,000 views, by the way. This is like a 10,000 view video, but a few days later, he's got, let's see, this one here, I think has 100,000 maybe. Maybe not, but he's got one there. He's building his followers. And he used to be excited with 400 views. Now he gets excited when he gets 4,000 views. Same with Kyle Roush, who's in our coaching program. I was excited to share this. He had 1,200 followers, and he was like, dude, same thing, more than 10 years on YouTube in like 3 weeks on TikTok. Now he's got 10,000 followers, and same thing. His expectations went from being excited with 300 views to now being excited when he gets 3 or 4 or 5,000 views on a video. And it just opens up so many opportunities. This is another one of our students here, 17,000 views off this off-the-cuff video. A few days later, that same video, 800,000 views. This is Sarah just a few days ago. She's like, I've had over 3 videos this week, do over 10,000 views and nearly up to 7,000 followers thanks to your help with these sessions. I do these like little mini coaching sessions every Friday for folks that are in our little course. My background is unique. I don't come from the organic social media background. I've always really, really, really highly valued my time. And so I kind of went deep down the Facebook advertising game back, before everybody saw that coming back in like 2010. I'm the author of the best-selling book of all time on Facebook advertising here. This is the 3rd edition. I wrote the 2nd edition, 3rd edition, co-authored with Perry Marshall, but I wrote 95% of both books. Over the years, we've spent over $400 million now with clients. Okay, that's coaching clients and agency done for you clients. It doesn't include all of our students all over the world. So we've done this a lot, and most importantly, all of these different industries. Okay, these are literally clients that I've either managed their ads or coached them on their ads or their funnels. From Frank Kern to Mindvalley, Jack Canfield, Dean Graziosi, all these people, JJ Virgin, Todd Herman, in all these e-commerce, Organifi, BioTrust Nutrition, Survival Life, helping Brian for a while. So I love working with these kind of people because I get to learn as well from amazing marketers and business owners. So, and all these local service-based businesses as well, music, fiction, best-selling fiction authors. Okay, so we've been doing this for a long time. My kind of specialty in the whole ad game, though, is what we now call the everlasting ad. I call it the everlasting ad because if you put the time and energy into creating one good ad, one good video ad that builds goodwill, builds brand awareness, and also what we call turn strangers into customers. You spend $1,000 and you can get at least $1,100 back every day from your ad spend. So when you're spending clients' money, you're spending your own money. We run our own ads for our own funnels. You've got to have your stuff dialed in. And what most people don't realize in the ad world is that 95% of your success depends on your creative and your offer. Running ads, the ad platform, that's easy. All these guys are all teaching all this supposedly ninja stuff. Most of it's hogwash. The algorithms are so good now, it's all about creative. So like this is Sarah excited because her one good ad created, $9,000 a month recurring revenue out of thin air, essentially, right? Kimberly Jimenez, super excited. Her one ad gone from 275 members to 900 members. That's $99 a month. Ryan here, we did $1 million last month from Facebook ads, and they're just absolutely crushing it. Okay, so we've been doing this a long time. I'm telling you this because I come from a unique background, and I'm trying to instill my knowledge. Like I'm not the organic guru. I'm just not. I never have been. So this is a new world for me. But I think that, if you bear with me, I am not going to be your most perfect, well-structured. I'm going to sell you a $2,000 course, and I'm going to give you all the foundational things. What I'm going to tell you today is actually why this is important. It is a big opportunity. We've got to get through that right now. But also the elements that really, if you're somebody that has not as much time like me, you have a business, you have a lot of things you're trying to build, then you want to be a lot more productive with that and create stuff that has a chance to really last and be evergreen, then I think you are in the right place. I'm going to show you some pretty cool stuff. So, from running Frank Kern's ads, coaching him, Mindvalley for years, helping them blow up their brand, Kevin Rogers, starting the podcast, launching the podcast with Digital Marketer, Perpetual Traffic for the first 3 years, then leaving that after 3 years. Organifi, running their ads for years. Peng Joon, also, him coming out to one of our events. I learned from these guys as well. This is running our viral video ad here. We both ran for different ads for our own accounts. JJ Virgin, Todd Brown. And then, learning from people like Frank Oz, who is Yoda, played Yoda in all the Star Wars and any future ones, co-created the Muppets here. And I got a lot of coaching from actually his wife, Victoria LeBaum, on storytelling and presenting. And I got to spend some time in New York with a small group, 4, 5, 6 of us, a few different times. And learning from people like that, you start to integrate some of this storytelling in these short form formats, it just gives you a leg up on so many other people. Okay, this is John here talking about $100,000 client from one video ad. A video ad here that costs $0. It's just proof of the principles you share. Got to tell a damn story and hit the emotions. Okay, so anyways, like I said, my perspective is unique here, but I took that and I jumped into TikTok and I said, hey, let's see what happens. And it is working, and not only for me, but for several other people right now. So it's pretty cool. It is a huge opportunity. It's really kind of like Facebook 2010, but better. Both the ad side as well as the organic. What we have here is literally a once in 12-year opportunity. When this will happen again, I don't know. But like I said, we have a platform that it's a mature platform now, but it's not fully aged up yet. We still have millions of people that are going to come on this platform. And so there's so much opportunity. And the thing is it's starting to modify to be highlighting longer videos, which actually in a lot of cases are easier to make, and they create a lot more followers and loyal subscribers. And also their videos, if you're running a business, are easy to turn into an ad as well. Guys like Gary Vee talking about whether you're an e-commerce business or you're selling big B2B software or something like that, you should be going all in on TikTok. Right now, I don't know how much time we have left, but it's getting more difficult. But there's also more eyeballs. So it might not be as easy to make a video take off as it was a year ago. It's going to be way harder a year from now, I'll tell you that right now. But there's more people. So when they do take off, they can grow even bigger. And so the cool thing is that it has a unique situation where it actually puts new accounts on the same playing field as big influencers and people with large followings. Because what the algorithm does is it takes each individual video and it stands on its own. So unlike Instagram and YouTube, Facebook, where if you don't have a lot of followers already, it's really difficult to stand out because a lot of the algorithm is weighted towards your followers. And so TikTok, if you have a brand new account, they're gonna put you in the feed. And if you use the right hashtags, if you have a good hook, if you have good watch times, they're gonna start to take more risk and put that out further out. And so I don't care if you have 500 or 500,000, you have a similar opportunity right now. I like this video here. This guy did a bunch of experiments on Instagram and TikTok, went viral on TikTok. Couldn't even do it on Instagram because it's so saturated right now, and the way the algorithm actually works based on followers is less than interest. TikTok's much more based on your interests and not who you follow, unlike Facebook and Instagram. So I'm gonna play a little clip here and kind of react to it.
There are two industries that call their customers users: drug companies and social media. Last year, TikTok was the most downloaded app on the App Store and was used for 52 minutes a day on average. There's only 24 hours in a day. That's so much time. YouTube is smarter, more in-depth. You get more from this content, but it didn't matter. After an obsessive fan tried to kill her, one TikTok star still didn't care.
Everyone in our generation now wants clout, wants numbers behind their name.
And if you want clout, TikTok's the way to get it. So it begs the question, is YouTube going to die? Probably not. Well, you see, TikTok is a platform based on just one format, the For You page, and every video it serves to you is based on what it's learned about you from 5 factors. How many likes, comments, shares, follows, and loops you give each video.
Now I'm gonna go deeper into exactly how the algorithm works later, a lot deeper in this, just so you know.
That's it. Think about it. That's the only data that tells the algorithm how much people enjoy each video it shows, which therefore dictates how many views it will get. The algorithm is completely in charge. There's no picking and selecting videos like on YouTube. The app itself can quickly use those 5 single factors to learn your deepest content desires, to understand your interests, allowing them to decide completely on their own exactly what videos you'll see. But when TikTok does learn about you, it makes the app hard to close. You're always glued because you're never stuck looking around for the best thing to watch. Not only has TikTok always found it for you, but it knows what you want better than you would, avoiding any possibility of being clickbaited on YouTube and only showing you exactly what you want to see. TikTok has power, and it has control. But that's not to say YouTube has nothing. Although the YouTube algorithm has its downfalls in the speed and accuracy with which it can learn about you, it can use your Google search history to formulate a general idea. Plus, some people just prefer longer content, but do you really though? The average TikTok user spends 52 minutes a day on the app, while the average YouTube user spends just 11 minutes and 24 seconds. The difference is that TikTok is continuous. There's no searching, so exiting the app is difficult, but invites you to rejoin the fun. It's why the average time the app is open in one sitting is just 10 minutes and 51 seconds, meaning that 52-minute average is reached through 4 to 5 repeated openings throughout the day. But the algorithm we've covered before is just a sliver of what seals the deal over YouTube. There are thousands of tiny things that keep people glued, starting with this. Sing Sang Strip 2002 is an oddly named random song from 2013 that most had forgotten about until TikTok brought it back, making this weird genre cool again. Meanwhile, YouTube has no such impact on people's music tastes because you can't use music, like at all. And if you do, you get demonetized, which is easy enough on TikTok too. But having quite the impact TikTok has on this multi-trillion-dollar industry is something YouTube just can't claim nearly as well as the Music Note app, TikTok.
So check this. This is perfect. I love this. These videos are both in this I've created this video library where we categorize each video based on genre, style, and then what hook points it's using based on my video builder here that I'll show you guys in a minute. This isn't one of my students, it's just a video I found. Start this month, see where you'll be next year. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how much 12 months on TikTok changed my life.
Here. Are you ready? Here we go. January, February, March,
Went viral,
April,
hit 20K followers,
May,
landed first few paid brand collaborations,
June,
hit 50,000 followers.
July,
This is like teaching social media stuff. Quit my job, launched social media business,
August,
had first article written about me,
September,
tripled my email
October,
list, had 4-figure brand collab,
October, November,
sold her own digital products, second article written about her.
December.
Highest revenue month, 67,000 followers, self-employed.
These are
Okay, so
in this
what happens is you build upon this. You might get maybe 10,000 followers, and then that gives you the confidence. It gives you the opportunity to go out and reach out to somebody and do a collaboration, do an interview, a podcast interview. All these other things open up when you start to go from being in the stands to
In case you don't
on
know,
stage.
I am a lawyer.
So this is another lady. She's a lawyer, former lawyer now, because of TikTok. She didn't think she was artistic.
In case you don't know, I am a lawyer. When I was 22 years old, I told myself that I wasn't really that artistic and that I was better suited to a career that values analytical thinking, and so started my career as a lawyer in big law. Then 1 year ago today, I posted my very
1 year ago today, she posted her first TikTok.
first real TikTok.
3 million followers.
And over the past year, I've gotten a chance to earn the title that was given to me by all of you, creator. I'm getting a little emotional just saying that because you think that I'm a storyteller, a writer, an artist. And for so much of my life, I convinced myself that I wasn't creative at all, that art was something reserved for people who were far more talented and extraordinary than me. You all have changed my life, given me the confidence to pursue dreams I thought were long dead. One of those dreams, it arrived in a box the other day. I got to hold it in my hands, leaf through the pages containing my words, my stories, my photos. In a few months, you all will hold a copy of my heart in your hand.
What gave her the confidence and the motivation and inspiration to go take that idea and turn it into a book, into reality, and publish it? What it did was making her first TikTok video, and her second, and her third, and her fourth, and then they started taking off. And she starts building an audience, and then something that she thought, maybe I'll write a cookbook after I retire, now is a real thing. And now these things are both combining together to create this massive amount of energy and creativity. And it just spurs more and more and more. And it's has a compounding effect. And it's pretty cool. So audience, what about the currency of audience? What's your audience or brand really worth? You got to think about what happens when the world goes crazy. We're in this crazy, tumultuous, polarized period of time right now all around the world, especially in the Western world. And a lot of people are afraid of what's going to happen. Is the economy going to crash? All these types of things. Is the money system going to, explode? What happens when you build a legitimate, large audience? It gives you the stability. It gives you something to fall back on. It gives you something that is worth more than money ever will be, because you could do anything you want if you build an audience. It doesn't really matter what happens in the rest of the world if you're creating value. There's so many different ways you can go. This is the new world that we're in. Joe Rogan, allegedly, his Spotify deal worth $200 million, doubling the initial $100 million report. Amazon just paid $100 million for podcasts, entertainment podcasts like the Murder Squad. This is where we're at today, and the opportunity of audience influence. It creates authority and trust. When you have a following, people automatically trust you. It's sad. It's like the white coat effect, but it is true. Authority, audience. It's why people buy from what celebrities recommend. You build that audience, you build that trust. It makes a big difference. Sponsorship deals, subscribers off the back end of those, customers, literally building an organic following. Now, getting customers is a longer process. So we have to think about, what are our goals? But, collaborations, like I said, to me, the big thing here is understanding the impact of taking something and saying, okay, now I wanted to reach out to this person, but they were always out of my league. And how can I, create value to this person to try to do a collab or try to interview them for my podcast or my YouTube channel or get on their YouTube channel? Well, what happens when you get 10,000 followers or you get 50,000 or 100,000? Now you reach out to them. Even if you DM them on Instagram, you can tell them that I have this much on TikTok. You go from being in the stands to the stage, and people look at you different. Trust me, it is a game changer when you are now seen as an influencer. Even if it's 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, and then you go and you collab with somebody else that has similar, maybe a little bit more than you. That leads to somebody else seeing you. That leads to an article. That leads to more followers, more people going to look at your content. It leads to TV. There's so much you can do. If you want to go out and get a book deal, are you telling me that right now? I'm thinking about writing a book on the content that I'm talking about on TikTok right now. Already, I could probably get a 6-figure advance if I went out and talked to a book agent and talked to some publishers. I keep going. There's so much you can do, and this leads to more followers, or it leads to your whole life changing. The opportunity of audience, it will blow your mind. Sometimes people just do it as a passion, and then all of a sudden a business is created out of thin air. So remember that. Even if you're a local service-based business, don't be afraid to think bigger, okay? A lot of people ask how to get paid on TikTok. That's something I'm not going to go too deep into. You can learn a lot more about that from probably the Creator University guys. But honestly, TikTok Creator Fund is something that they have created similar to the YouTube Creator Fund, but it's really, really tiny right now. But honestly, the more advertisers come on, the bigger it will be. But then there's sponsorship deals, there's brand deals. You build an audience, the money will come. I have people literally emailing me almost every single day asking me to promote their product just from what I've done on TikTok. They're emailing me and they're DMing me on Instagram and TikTok. They'll find you. So if you want to go out and you want to build an audience and then create some revenue around that and you actually reach out to people, I mean, It starts at 10,000. Realistically, you can start doing this stuff if you want. It's kind of crazy. So I mean, now if you're an e-commerce business, the more of these you do, the better, right? You should, if you're an e-commerce business, you should be organic TikTok, you should be running ads, and you should be reaching out to influencers. And it's so easy now because they can make a video on their profile and they can just add their profile to your ad account, just like we can on Instagram and Facebook. Affiliate products, your own products and services. That's how you realistically probably make the most money. But having your own products is the most profitable, but it's the most complex. Like I said, you start to build the audience. Sometimes it can be a lot more motivating and inspiring for you to do the work to create your own products. Now, let's talk about how the TikTok algorithm works. Alrighty, you guys ready to get into some serious tactics? Let's do this. Okay, let's start with how the TikTok algorithm works. Here's the thing. What happens is even if you have a brand new account, they're going to take your video and they're going to start experimenting and putting that out, testing your video in front of maybe 200, 300, 400 people. And then they're looking, how does this video do? How's the engagement? How's the watch time? And if it does well, it starts to go out to a wider audience, maybe another 3,000 people. Now, how are they choosing these 300 people or these 3,000 people? These initial audiences, if you already have a following, they're going to start with people that follow you and also cold audiences based on the content of the video, so they can read. If you're talking in it, the algorithm is reading those words. That's why they can create subtitles so quickly. They are using the description. They're using the text overlay that you use. And I'll be showing you stuff like that in a minute. They're also using the hashtags that you put in there to decide on who those first few people are that they put your video in front of, which is why you want to have optimal hashtags, descriptions, and what you're actually saying matters a lot more than most people realize. So if it starts to do okay, and I'll get into the metrics here in a minute, they might put it out to another 30,000. If your watch times are good, your engagements are good, guess what they do now? They're putting it out to more and more people. Now, the wider it goes, the less the hashtags matter. The more it's based off of the performance of the video. If it does well and it goes out to more people, and then if you got something super viral, it will go out to 30 plus million people, 100 million people. Now, this whole process sometimes can take just a few hours. You'll see sometimes a video go viral and you'll know within 5-6 hours that this thing's going to take off. But sometimes it takes a few days, especially if you don't have a lot of content on your profile or if something's happening in popular culture. This is how YouTube is. YouTube has a lot of delayed reaction with videos. You might make several videos for the first 6 months and nothing really happens, and then one actually takes off, and then all of a sudden some of your previous videos start to take off because your YouTube channel has more authority within the algorithm. And then that combined with something happening in popular culture, maybe you did a video about racism and there's something going on with Black Lives Matter or something like that you did a year ago, that video goes viral. Maybe it's during a holiday or something like that. And so this is what will happen. Now, TikTok, there is a big evergreen effect here as well. At this point, I don't think it's as big as YouTube, but it seems like it's getting more and more that way, which is a great thing for you and me because it just makes the effort you're putting in now well worth it long term. It's more of an investment. Your content just doesn't fade away like it does on Facebook and Instagram. So what the algorithm wants. It wants watch time and engagement. Those are the big two things. A lot of people talk about post time. What's the best time to post? There's a lot of YouTube videos about this. I've watched tons of YouTube videos, hundreds of YouTube videos. I've bought several courses. And then like I said, I've taken my experience from the last 12 years to create this sort of method that I'm using to have success on TikTok. Like I said, it's not the best thing ever, but I'm taking a lot of experience, but I've also learned from a lot of people out there, and I think you should as well. And I think that a lot of the stuff out there about post time is a little bit overrated. A lot of people say if you've created a lot of videos, go back and look and see what your videos, what time they were posted, which of your best videos, what time they were posted. And the problem with that methodology is that your best videos were probably your best videos, like the creative, the hook, that had the highest watch time, had the highest engagement. So the time that you post probably had nothing to do with it. That being said, if you're going to choose something, it seems to me like mid-morning to late afternoon is a great time to post. I try to post around 9 to 11 my time. I'm in Pacific time, or 2 to 6 p.m. Pacific time if I can, because it's a great time all throughout the U.S. The thing is, though, people, oh man, over the years, to all my background with all the different software that was created, like Buffer and all these different social posting apps that people created, it's like you figure out the best time to post, and then you start automatically posting your whatever, whether it's a tweet or a Facebook post or an Instagram post. And then as soon as somebody decides to, like, I'm going to get creative, or I got lazy and I just posted something at 1 a.m., which is like supposedly the worst time because there's less people on there. And then a week, 24 hours later, they look at their stats and like, wow, that was one of my best posts. Well, because maybe it was posted at a time where, there's less people on, but there's also less competition. So sometimes these off times can actually benefit you. So I think it's something you should just pay attention to, but take with a grain of salt. Now, the people, which is who you're making videos for on the platform, they want to be entertained, educated, and inspired. And these really are the big three. Do you have to have all three of these in one video? No, most of my videos are not very entertaining. Sometimes they're inspiring or they're educating, and I'm using storytelling. Now, in general, storytelling is entertaining. So the more you can use storytelling within your teaching or whatever you're doing, the better your videos are going to be. Okay, so now let's get back down into some of the nuances here. The most important metrics, these are listed in order of importance. Number 1 is watch time. Number 2 is shares, saves, follows, comments, and likes. Now, these are all pretty close, but number 1 is watch time. We're going to do everything we can do to increase watch time, from having a great hook to building in curiosity to having things like motion to grab their attention. But that's really just going to get their attention. What we want them to stay. So when you have a really good hook or something that builds in some curiosity, or you let them know, sort of like you start with the end, or you pull a clip out from the end or something like that. What it does is a lot of times that really good hook gives you the time to now elaborate and really teach something specific, whether it's a recipe or it's an exercise to relieve pain or a stretch, or it's just a story that you want to tell. If you hook them in, a lot of times I'll do a video and then I'll record an intro, like a 15-second intro to really hook them in. It gives me time to build up this, to tell the story. These things are important. Now, as you'll see when I get into the app, that some videos have higher watch time percentages than others, and they do well. Some videos have lower watch times, but they have high engagement. And so that makes up for the lower watch time. So it's not all watch time, even though that's the number 1 factor. These other ones are gonna come into play, which I'm gonna show you. Now, before I do that, let's go through the completion time goals. So what I've came up with here is some ranges here. So if you have a video that's, say, real short, like 0 to 7 second, then you're probably going to need that to be your average watch time to be 160% or more. If it's 8 to 15 seconds, then you probably need to be at least 100% or more watch time. What's that mean? Well, if your video's 15 seconds and your average watch time is 15 seconds, then it's 100%, right? If your average watch time is 20 seconds, then that's like 125%. So that's why at the 0 to 7 seconds here, I put 160 seconds. That means, you want your average watch time to be 10, 11, 12 seconds to be able to compete with the short videos. And that's the most competitive segment here. This is the short videos is the most competitive, and it's going to give you the lowest percentage of followers. And the algorithm is shifting more towards longer content. So I'm recommending most of my students to not do the shorter videos unless that's something that you want to do and you enjoy. And I'll play a video from a TikTok employee in just a minute here talking about this exact thing. And she's basically said what I've been preaching and teaching on my weekly calls on my coaching program the last like 6 weeks. And then I saw this video 2 days ago, and I was so excited to see this because it was like, I told you guys. Anyways, 16 to 30 seconds. Probably around 75%. So, if your video is 30 seconds, then your average watch time may be around 21, 22, 23%, or 22, 23 seconds. 31 to 60 seconds, maybe 50% watch time. 1 to 2 minutes, now we're talking about 40%. So if you have a 2-minute video, then if you have a 50-second average watch time, that's good. You're not going to get 50, 75% watch times when you start to get into the longer time frames. So 2 to 3 minutes, 28 to 35% is what you should expect for a really good video. Okay, for something that has a chance to really take off and get, tens of thousands of views. Let me show you what I mean. Let's go online here. All right, so I'm gonna go side by side here so you can sort of see here. So if I click into a video here, this video of mine has 1.4 million views, 112,000 likes, 2,100 comments, 7,700 shares. So the time here is 89 seconds. So it's a minute and a half, okay? 39 seconds is the average watch time. So we got 39. So what you're gonna do to get your average watch time percentage is you're just gonna take this number here and divide it by the total time. So 39.6 divided by 89.53 equals, that's 44% watch time. So that's a pretty good watch time there. So you look, that's a minute and a half. So that's 44. So that's above the 40%. You can see why it's got 1.3 million. Now the engagement is good on this one as well. Down here, For You, so 93% of the views were from the For You page. And then 11% watched full video. That's also very high. I've got some videos that have a high watch time, maybe a higher watch time, but a lower full video percentage. So it's kind of interesting. So let's look at another. So this one here has 559,180 seconds. So it's exactly 3 minutes. So we got 47 seconds average watch time. So let's just go 47.6 divided by 180. So we got 26%. Look at that. That's way lower. So this is 3 minutes, but it's also longer, right? So what I say, 28 to 35% is the average watch time we want to be at. Now I'm at the 3 minute point, so I'm going to be at the lower range, but I'm still a little under that, but it still did well. Watched full video, 11%. That's good. I mean, that's pretty dang good for a full 3 minute video to watch the full video. So this is another good one, 317,000, 14%. So this one's really high, 69. We'll go to that one in a minute. A young woman who was born. Let's find one that doesn't do quite as well. Jeff Tully takes 21%. Dang. So this was a part 2. So 69. I'm surprised this one actually didn't do better. For average watch time, 69 seconds, 21% full video. So this one has a much higher watch time, not as many views. Also, if you look at the views here, 38% personal profile, 34% following, 28% For You. So if you look at this video here, this one isn't really accurate to compare to those other two, because this one was, a lot of the views here were shown, they came from my existing followers. So you have to take all these metrics into case here. Yes, it has high watch time and all these numbers are high on this one, but the reason why is because I did this one off, after some other videos were going viral. And so if I could drill down into this right here and look at the numbers of just the people that were in the For You page, I can guarantee that the average watch time is a lot lower, okay? If you're brand new, the percentages here that I have are pretty accurate, okay? Because this video, I'm sure if it was just the cold traffic here, my average watch time was not 69 seconds. It was probably closer to 50 seconds or 45 seconds for cold traffic. But my followers are gonna watch it way longer. And so these numbers are gonna be skewed. So the more followers you get, you gotta look at these things here. So for me to get the real Zone Life, look at some of the videos earlier on, right? There's another one, that's a shorter one, that 82% For You, 11% personal, and it's a shorter video they don't usually do, but 22 divided by 34. So this one has about 64%. So if it's in that range here, right? It's a 34-second one, so it's right in that range, what I was saying. And most of the views are For You, but there's definitely still some personal profile. So if I was brand new, these numbers are going to be probably a little bit lower and still have similar, maybe just 150,000 views, but my average watch time might be slightly lower. In general, though, when you start to dig into this, you're going to start to see that maybe one has a lower watch time, but it has a lot of shares, comments, and likes. So what will happen though, sometimes you'll see a video that actually has a lot of comments and stuff. So this one here, 72 seconds average watch time. So we got high watch time there. So 42%, so it's pretty good. Full video is low, and I think I can see why, because a lot of people that saw this, it was sort of more of a controversial video, a lot of comments. This video, because of the engagement, helped it. The watch time was high, full video is low, so some of these other ones kind of made up for it. And another one that you don't really see is follows. So let's say that one of the reasons why I like longer content, if you have a video that maybe doesn't do perfect on all these, but it has a lot of people that come to your profile and follow you, which is what I have as well. A lot of people have a real high follow percentage, then that's gonna help that video. It's gonna say, hey, something about this person people like, so let's keep amplifying their content. So what you want to do is you'll hear people talk about this on YouTube as well. It's like, what's your like to follow ratio or follow to like ratio? All you do is you take 117,600 divided by 350,000 equals So 33%. That's really, really high. What you want to get to is 10% at least. So realistically, if you're doing good, if I had 350,000 likes and I had 35,000 followers, that would be really good. There's a lot of people out there that are at 3 or 4 or 5%. What that means is your content, you might have had a video go viral and it was super broad appeal and it's not really the same type of people that would come and follow you. Or maybe you didn't have any other videos on your profile, so they didn't follow you. Or it's just a really short video, you're not going to get a lot of followers on the back end of that. So this is why when you're storytelling or you're teaching, you're doing longer videos, and as they roll out the 10-minute option, I just think people are going to crush it, that leverage that, take advantage of that, and aren't afraid to do longer videos. You're going to see interview styles and stuff start to pick up and everything like that. But that makes a big difference. All right, let's keep going here and let's talk about the TikTok growth success path. I've got 5 steps here. Number 1 is setting your goals. Research. You're never stopping researching. Create, edit, publish. Okay. Step 1 is getting clear on your goals and objectives. So is your goal to grow your business or sell your products? If it is, then you need to think in phases. You're not going to just make a video and have a call to action on every video. It's not an ad. If you're running an ad, you've got to have a call to action, and that's okay because you're paying for those impressions. If it's an organic video, you want to focus your video so it gets more views and followers. And you can use your personal profile to have a call to action. And then maybe once in a while in your video, have a call to action. And then make a video that's a pinned video. You get 3 pinned videos and make one of those that talks about your product or service. And so think about it in phases. Grow your audience and everything else will follow. If you want to go get customers every single day, then you need to be running ads. I mean, we can help you do that obviously as well. But this is a longer term approach and very vital. So the thing is though, if you want to run ads, it all starts with the creative. So you can make these organic videos, and then one that's good, you can repost that and turn it as an ad or re-record it the same way. Anyways, let's keep going here. Build authority. Become an influencer thought leader. Grow a brand. Share your message. Maybe you have a life purpose, calling, or passion, kind of like my situation. But the thing is that can also grow into a business, a book. For me, I have a lot of things that I'm going to be doing down the road off of this. I don't have a clear path right now because I'm focusing on my current business in terms of revenue and everything, but can we do cool events? I want to probably write a book that's a major worldwide type of bestseller type of thing maybe. The sky's the limit, kind of like the girl I showed earlier, that the Korean vegan. It's kind of cool when you start to have this audience that you can, opens up opportunities. So maybe it's to amplify your art, your music, books, sell more books, sell more music, sell more art. There's so many creative ways that you can use this. If you're an artist or if you're a musician, you got to be creative. If they don't know who you are, you've got to leverage bigger platforms. You've got to leverage bigger names. So maybe you're doing covers. Maybe you're a pianist, and so you're doing famous guitar solos. You do them with the piano. So it's a song that people recognize, but you're doing it in a unique way, and then you mix that in with your own original content. This is how people really blow up on social media. They start out with covers sometimes, then they start to integrate their own original music. There's so many ways to do it. Now let's talk about the 5-phase success path. In order to really have success short-term and long-term, I've got a 5-step kind of process. Phase 1 is goals. 2 is research. 3 is create. 4 is edit. 5 is publish. Step 1 is you got to get clear on your ultimate goals. Is it to grow your business or sell your products? If it is, then you need to think in phases. You don't want to just be creating content to try to get new customers with every single video. You want to use your profile. You add your call to action, add your URL, your lead magnet, your whatever your landing page is, can be right on your profile. And then you can also create a unique video and pin it. That's about how you help people, and have a call to action there. And it can be one of your 3 pinned videos. So you don't want to have a call to action for your product or service in every video. Once in a while is okay. It's different if you're running ads. If you're going to spend money and you're going to pay the algorithm, pay TikTok or Facebook or Instagram to put your post in front of people at the top of the feed. That's what, like I said, that's what I specialize in. That's different. Of course, you're going to have a call to action there. But when it comes to organic content, the goal should be to get views and get followers. And then the next phase is to, siphon some of those into your funnel or into your products or services. Is it to build authority? Is it to become an influencer or thought leader? Is it to grow a brand, your brand or your personal brand or somebody else's brand as a consultant or a coach? Is it to share your message, you know, your life purpose, calling, passion, which can obviously lead to something bigger and a business maybe? That's kind of where I'm at. It's my content on TikTok right now. I have created another TikTok profile. I haven't made any posts yet, but that's more for business content and this type of content. So if I want to do that, that's going to be a separate TikTok profile. If it is about your life purpose or calling, that can obviously lead to a business or a project. Like for me, you know, I might be doing really cool events. Maybe one of my goals is to write a mainstream broad appeal, like, you know, New York Times best-selling book in a few years. And all those opportunities are way more available in that world now because of building that audience and having now easy access to influencers, thought leaders, book publishers, and stuff like that, right? So, you know, if you have 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 followers on TikTok and you've got a broad appeal type of thing and you want to go get a book deal, you could get a $200,000 or $300,000 book advance right now if you have a good agent. It's just, that's where we're at in today's world. And do they care how many people are on your email list and all those things? Absolutely. But really, it's funny. They actually look at your social media following more than they look at those other factors, which we know to generate revenue, you need that email list. But anyway, something to think about. So it's to amplify your art, music, books, so many ways to be creative there. You know, what I tell people if they're a musician, if you have your original music, if you don't have an audience, much of an audience yet, you got to be creative. You got to do things like maybe you're doing cover songs. Maybe you're a pianist and you're playing famous guitar solos or guitar riffs as a pianist. You know, so you're playing the piano, or you're just songs, recognized songs, world famous songs that you're playing with the piano, you know, or any instrument. These are creative things that you can do to leverage other popular culture or names or thought leaders. And then you can mix in your own original content. And as you build that audience, it's going to be easier and easier to amplify your original content. And you also want to think about, with everything you do, you know, what are the type of people that you want to reach? Now, you can be creative and do different types of content. You don't have to be super niche focused, as long as that content will still relate and connect with a similar type of person. You're not going to get penalized by the algorithm if you're getting creative with the different types of content. Now we get into phase 2 and 3, and that's really the most important. Research is everything. You want to be searching for creators, searching for hashtags, searching for hooks, topics, ideas, and styles, and then just going down lots and lots of rabbit holes. This is what it looks like. You might do a search, like let's say home workouts for women or something like that. And then you're going to search for hashtags. You're going to be looking for big opportunities, like what's the volume of likes in those results? And I'll show you what I mean in a second here. And then you're going to drill down. You're going to drill down. You're going to drill down. And you're going to drill down. You're going to go down lots and lots of rabbit holes. Let me show you what I mean. So for example, you might search a topic, and then you'll go into the top results and you'll find a video. And then you'll reverse engineer that. Like, what type of genre is that? What style? What kind of hooks are they using? What hashtags are they using? Then you can click into the hashtags. You can click into the hashtags and you can favorite a hashtag. Then you can find a video within that hashtag, and you can go search and check a user's profile. And then you can see what other videos that they have created that have popped. What were the first 2 or 3 that took off? And then you're digging into those videos and seeing what kind of video genre, style, you know, what hooks are they using? What hashtags? I'll show you what I mean here. After your search, you got top, you got users, you got hashtags. You know, you click into a user, and the same thing, you drill down to their videos, look at their top videos, look at their earlier videos, other videos that popped, and then same thing, drill down, genre, style, hooks, hashtags. And then some other ticks, you're going to be favoriting lots of hashtags, and then you're sending yourself plenty of video URLs. Okay, let's go to TikTok and do some searching. Top of the right there in research, and let's search for sleep tips. Once we do this, we're going to go up here to the preferences, and we're going to change this up to, I like to go to, if you click the more here, you can go to this month, which is about 28 days, or the last 3 months. I use both of those, and then I also go to most liked right there. Let's go to 3 months, and let's go to most liked, and then I'm gonna go to apply on the top right there, boom. Okay, so now we're gonna see what's the volume, like how many likes do these have? It doesn't show views, you have to click the video to see how many views it has, but it shows likes. So when we're talking tens of thousands, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50,000, 100,000 or more, we're talking real broad appeal. That means that topic has the ability to really blow up and get a lot of views. So this whole topic of sleep tips is massive. Let's click into one here. Go back to my little list here. I'm in the top results, And then we're going to look at a video, and then we're going to look genre, style, hooks, hashtags, reverse engineer. What are they using? And that's back to my TikTok builder here. And this is really the foundation of my course. And so obviously I can't go and teach every one of these elements today, but it's really revolved around like my last 12 years, but also these two books I recommend here. Made to Stick by Chip and Dan Heath. I've read this book 4 or 5 times doing this program. I reread this one and this one twice. This is called Contagious, Why Things Catch On, Why Things Go Viral. These have been huge elements for me to create good ads, but obviously for this stuff. And so it's like taking the best of the best that's the most appropriate for TikTok videos or Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts. They're all the same style, okay? So essentially what you're doing here is you're looking, what's the genre? I'll get into this more in a little bit. Most of them, if you're an entrepreneur, the ones we're going to mostly use are these top 2, but maybe this one here as well. And then the style, is it a face to camera? Is it a narrative voiceover? Is it an acting one? One person, 2 character, And then we have what hook elements are they using? So in my library example, what I do is when we get good videos, we label them. So like this one here, is a protein cookie healthier than a cheeseburger? And I'll get into more of this in a little bit. I'm just
going to
kind of
get so much hate for this.
It won't make sense if I don't mention it right now. This is an awesome video with 20 million views, and it's a valuable tips tutorial. It's face to camera style, health and wellness, and then debunk common belief is the primary hook. Mystery curiosity is another one. Aha moment is a lot of these have this one here. This is the most common. Those are the main ones there. Go back to this here, and we're trying to just kind of, you don't have to label all these while you're doing your research. Initially, you're just trying to like pay as much attention as you can to these. Okay, so let's go back to TikTok, and we're looking at it. And so this is an interesting one. This is on our list too. This is on my. This has a lot of emotion going on with the baby there. She's demonstrating, but she's also giving an aha moment. It's just a great video. And at the end, it's like boom. It's very soothing too. It's got a hypnotic, but baby almost looks fake there, sleeping, didn't it? It's crazy. You're looking at those types of things, and then you're also reverse engineering. Like, what hashtags are they using? What's the title? I'll get into this more when we get into hashtags. Be careful analyzing hashtags. I'll talk about that when you get some of the mistakes people are making. Let's go back to this, and you're researching here, and you're searching like hashtags. You can also go to hashtags here on that sleep tips and see what other hashtags there are, right? And then we can click into those hashtags. I can click into, let's say, sleeping tips, or let's go to sleeping tips, and I can favorite that if I want. And then I can also click into these videos, see hashtags, favorites, other videos under hashtag, users. So let's say that I want to find this one.
Okay, back sleeping tips.
You're digging into this creator. Is this person that's, did they build a big audience on TikTok? Or did they bring an audience from somewhere else? We don't want that. We want someone that started on TikTok, ideally. Are they doing a lot of similar content to your topic? Or did they do random, or if you're somebody that helps somebody sleep better, if they had a video go viral here about sleeping, but all their other videos are just regular entertainment, then that's not the best person to reverse engineer, right? But now we can go and we look at them. First, we want to obviously reverse engineer this video itself, and then look at their other videos, and you're starting to see, what's the style.
Most of you sleep with too much pillow underneath your neck, because without a pillow, your head's actually pretty much in alignment already. So go with the super soft.
And you can go and look at their other videos. What I like to do when I start to reverse engineer profiles is find what were the first few videos to kind of take off. Which ones first popped. And then sometimes you'll see them switch their style. A lot of times people will start out trying to be funny and like doing like goofy dances and stuff, thinking that's what they have to do on TikTok. And then they realize that they just do a video that gives value, and it's just like, it's a super specific aha moment, and it takes off. And then they start to shift their style, and then they start to grow their following. I love that, because most cases that's what happens. People actually simplify and stop trying to be funny, and then they actually get more views. Now, that doesn't mean that you should dampen any type of creativity, any type of personality that you have. You want to leverage that innate personality that you have. If you like to be funny, then absolutely. That style works on TikTok, okay? Reverse engineering users, hashtags. You can go so deep here because you'll start to come up with different ideas. So for example, this guy does a lot of back stuff, so it's not the best guy to follow here, but I might look here and let's do sleep tips. and then find another video, the top video here. And then you might not think, like, this is what happens. You might find a hashtag here that you didn't even think about. Sleepy, probably not the best one. But sometimes you'll find another one here, mouth taping.
Stitch this with something that has...
This has got 468,000 likes, so this has a lot of views. Mouth taping, breathe, wellness, stitch this, evening routine, sleep tips. So now I can click into mouth taping and find some other videos, right?
Stitch this with something that has improved your overall wellness. That's simple. I'll go first. Mouth taping. Mouth taping. Try it. You can get this on Amazon. Sleep with it. It prevents you mouth breathing.
It's just a unique thing, right? So whenever you have what I call is just an aha moment, right? You're informing somebody of a brand new idea. People want to share that. It makes it more viral. We talk a lot about this in the Contagious book. When you can do that, this video does that. It's like, well, I never heard of that. It makes you want to tag a friend and tell them, or save the video, or watch it all the way to the end because you're kind of curious on what the heck is mouth taping, right? So you have all these other elements here that really bring in more of a longer average view duration, more engagement, right? So aha moment, you have mystery, curiosity. This is one of my favorite hooks here because why would somebody sit in a theater for 2.5, 3 hours and not get up to go to the bathroom, even if they have to go to the bathroom really bad? Why? Because the screenwriter does a great job of creating mystery, and you don't want to miss what's going to happen next. You can do that, and it builds up your statistics, tells the algorithm that people want to watch this, they want to share it, they comment, they tag their friends, they save it, they send it to people, and they start showing your video to more people. You got to spend as much time as you can researching. This is really, these two here, steps 2 and 3 are the most important here. They really are, okay? Which is research and create. Other tips, like I said, you can add lots of favorites and then send yourself plenty of video URLs as you're doing your research and follow people, okay? Now, step 3, phase 3 is create. This is where you're creating the video. This is what it's all about. It's not about hacking hashtags. It's about figuring out what kind of content works for you. The different video types are 15 second, 60 second, 3 minute, and 10 minutes. Okay, TikTok just rolled out 10-minute videos depending on when you're watching this. You probably don't have this available yet, you might, but this is just where they're going with their content. Okay, back to my general philosophy. Simple videos that give tactical value or tell a story work so well and build more followers, okay? Instead of the one-hit wonder videos that go viral and don't create a loyal following that are hard to repeat. Crazy thing is I wrote this bullet point like 8 weeks ago when I first created this like presentation for these webinars I've been doing. And I saw this video 2 days ago that I'm gonna play for you from an employee at TikTok. So let's play that video. I've got the URL here. It's just added it literally. It's crazy.
Welcome to video 5 of how to make a career out of content creation. Today we're talking about building a following versus a community and why you shouldn't be creating content with the goal of going viral. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Bianca. I'm 24 years old and I work at TikTok as a brand partnerships manager, meaning I consult with big brands on their marketing campaigns and their creator partnerships. If you're looking to build a platform on TikTok that you can monetize, your main goal should be to build a community. That means an audience of loyal followers that you've established trust and a relationship with and are really engaged with who you are as a person. And
now we all know that, right? But where I like this video is because in a second here, she gets into the type of videos that build community. So like for me, for example, one of the reasons why my follower ratio is so high is not because I'm good at like commenting to people and doing TikTok lives and really connecting with my audience. I'm actually horrible at that because my time is so limited. I haven't even been making any videos this month because I've been working with some private clients and moving and stuff like that. And so the type of content that I'm doing, the storytelling, the value, okay, the longer form, that's what's attracting the followers. It's not like if I was doing both, I would even have more followers. So I'm not saying you shouldn't be, build community in terms of like commenting, engaging in lives. What I'm saying though, mostly what she's talking about here as she gets into the video and a little longer is about the type of video you're doing.
And not just the content you create. Unfortunately, the kind of videos you create when trying to go viral won't help you build a community. And right now, I'm talking about intentionally producing content that aligns with the traditional recipe for a viral video. Short videos under 15 seconds, using trending sounds, you're lip syncing or acting out a scene. And if you're creating those videos and you actually succeed at going viral, it can actually drag down your performance long term on TikTok. Slow and steady growth builds community. So here are 3 reasons why you
So
should.
she's saying if you're doing the short videos, trying to go like the 9-second videos to go viral, it's not the way to build your following. And I've been saying this from the very beginning. They're actually harder to make, in my opinion. It's way more competitive because that's how TikTok started. It's way more competitive. But more importantly, you can't build connection with somebody in that short of a period of time. It's the people that have been on the platform for a long period of time. They're on at the beginning, and that's the style, and they built huge audiences. If you want to really build an audience now, and the best part is to be able to repurpose this into YouTube and into Instagram, this type 1 minute, 3 minute, and then longer videos as we go.
You shouldn't be making content with the goal of going viral. Number 1, when a video goes viral, that means it resonated with a really large audience, and probably a much larger audience than what your typical videos cater to. So unless that video is very representative of your usual content style, it will lead to an influx of low quality followers, people you wouldn't consider as part of your core audience. So let's say you have a video go viral and overnight you gain 10,000 followers. A large majority of those followers may not actually be interested in the kind of content you want to be known for or you create more often. And since TikTok pushes your content to your followers first, if many of those new followers won't watch your usual videos all the way through, much less like or comment on it, it brings down your overall engagement rate with the video, and it's much less likely you'll.
So this is the same thing that happens with YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. If anybody's been doing that world for a while, you know that. But it's also true with TikTok. So this is more about like the type of content. Be careful if you do something too. I mean, if you have a video that's very focused on your audience and it goes viral, you're going to be okay, because you're bringing in that type of person. But if it's a super random video that's super broad appeal, that's what she's talking about.
Will get pushed to the For You page. I sometimes see accounts that have 100,000 followers, but most of their recent videos are getting anywhere from 1 to 5,000 views. Because even though they're creating high quality content that deserves to be seen, the dead weight of their low quality followers they amassed from a few viral videos in the past is dragging down their overall engagement rate, making it much harder for their new videos to even get pushed through to the For You page. Okay, number 2.
This is what I'm talking about here. This second part's important.
By now you've probably heard that TikTok is rolling out the ability to create 10-minute videos. This announcement comes on the heels of a wider discussion about TikTok and the content that it values, like the changes that they made to the community guidelines, and a new theory that the algorithm will give preferential treatment to high-value original content, which is often longer form content. So this means the traditional recipe for a viral video might not actually work that well anymore. Today's top creators that have a community of really engaged followers have built their community around storytelling, not viral moments.
Boom, exactly what I've been saying every single week.
So adding the 10-minute video feature is TikTok's way of encouraging us to lean into storytelling in order to build an engaged community. Which brings me to number 3. You want to attract followers that are engaged with you and not just your content. When you're just looking to go viral, the kind of videos you create leave little to no room for actual storytelling. And it's almost impossible for your personality to shine.
What she's saying here before this of the algorithm, she's basically saying internally at TikTok, they're adjusting it. They're adding 10-minute videos. They're adjusting the algorithm to focus on videos that build community. And what they mean by that is longer form videos, storytelling, giving value. That's what I'm talking about. And that's good, because it's you can learn storytelling. You can learn that it's all about, hooking them in at the very beginning. And using dialogue and giving being very specific. It doesn't always have to be a story. It can be something like this: 3 easy sciatica stretches. This isn't really storytelling, but it's demonstrating very specific that help people relieve back pain. It's very simple. It's a minute-long video. It's got 339,000 views. This one here is a little more storytelling.
I'm gonna get so much hate for this.
I'll go back to this actually after I get to my next couple slides. Let's come back to that in a second here as we get to this. So the TikTok builder template. This is really the formula for making awesome videos. Making awesome videos based on your unique personality and style. This is what I'm trying to help people with. This is why I don't have some stupid template. This here is something where you're looking at it and you're like, okay, let's figure out, maybe let's go over here and mastermind on an idea. And I want to have one that maybe has an aha moment and some curiosity, and that's it. Lots of aha moments, or maybe opens up with debunking a common belief, And so it's not about using all of these. It's about using 1 or 2 or 3, Some of my favorites here are demonstrate, debunk common belief, aha moment, mystery. Okay, but we got to start from the beginning here. Now, initially, what you want to do is you want to choose one genre. So it might be valuable tips tutorial. So most of my videos are most of mine are stories actually, mixed in with some valuable tips tutorials. Other people, it's going to be more of these. Like, let's say you're a brand and you're an e-commerce brand, and you might have stuff where you're a health and wellness brand, and you might give a recipe, right? Or like a type of food to eat to get better sleep or to have more energy. And then your next video might be a story, an inspiring story of somebody who changed their life by eating better, lost weight, got the love of their life, got a new job, had more energy. You know what I mean? So you could mix and match. That's what I do. Some of mine, I'm like teaching an actual muscle testing technique. Another one is a story, literally me reading the transcript from a book. You know, usually it's one or the other. So you might have a video that's valuable tips, and then sometimes it's just inspirational quote, super simple. And sometimes if you're not inspired, you can just mix these in, like a short video, and I'll show you what I mean. This guy right here, all his video, now he's starting to go a little longer, I noticed, his last videos, but
tell my mistakes to me, not to others. Because my mistakes are to be corrected by me and not by anyone else.
That's it. So if you go to his profile here, I did a video like this too, and it did pretty well actually. So he's got 700,000 now. Last time I showed him, I think he had 600,000. If you go back to the beginning, you'll see where he was doing a certain style, and then he started shifting, and a couple of his videos started doing well, and then he just went with it. And every video now is essentially like this.
4 things to say to yourself every day.
Usually, most of them were like 15 seconds. Now they're starting to be a little longer, like 30 seconds. This one is 1.3 million, and it's not playing, so that's all right. But that's most of what he's doing. Now, it's like, well, he's not giving any value. You know, it's just inspirational stuff. Okay, he has 723,000 followers. Right now, if he wants to write a book about something, he has a gigantic audience. He can get a big publishing deal, $300,000 book advance. Guess what happens now when you have a big book deal with a big publisher? You have connections to big, gigantic podcasts. So now you go on this interview tour to promote your book. And then you start to connect with all these big, huge influencers that have gigantic podcasts because you're writing a book with this big publisher and you have this audience. So it just starts to compound into something bigger. And everything that I just said, you don't have to wait until you have 700,000. Or he could not write a book. He could launch a really cool podcast, an interview style. And guess what? Does he even have to do that on YouTube now? Yeah, could. But guess what? TikTok, you're going to start seeing more of that because I can do a joint live interview, and it can be a 2.5-hour interview. And then we can edit that up now into smaller bits. Instead of 3 minutes or less, now we can do 10-minute segments. I can have a good video editor that can find and mine for gold. And I teach a lot of this in my more in-depth trainings. I'll take a video and I'll be like, this is how you take this one video and turn it into 3 or 4 really good ones. Or this 2-minute video that's okay, and find different elements of that are even better. And we're gonna change the order around and pull this segment like minute and a half in and make that at the beginning. If you start to do this, and this is why I really encourage people to edit their own videos, even if it's just basic editing. That's what I do. If you want to have fancy editing, you can send it out to somebody else. But by doing some of that yourself, you're focused on figuring out what content to cut. So my point is, though, he could do a interview style, launch a big interview business, and all of a sudden now he's connecting with bigger influencers, and this leads to all these other cool projects. He could sell products as an affiliate. And then, like I said, those long interviews can be edited down into lots of great shorter styles. Maybe it's for a different channel, and then you build 2 channels. So there's just so much you can do. So then we have funny or entertaining, which is kind of how TikTok started, lots like that. And then there's just raw, random thoughts, rants, somebody that's just like they're doing their makeup and they're talking to the camera and they're talking about something. That's a good style too. And then trending content or current events, that's about political topics or something, or just this trending style, the TikTok, like a lip sync that's going viral. You can do that as well. That's harder to do. That's why it's a different color here. Okay, then there's the style. You want to figure out what's style for you. Most of my videos are just face to camera. But a lot of what people will do is they'll do the voiceover. And then you don't even have to worry about talking to the camera. You can record later right through TikTok, or you can just have music or have the computer generated voice. You see people do that a lot. It's just because they're not performers. And so then there's the hybrid, what I've done. Like if you look at my channel here, so this one here is what I kind of call a hybrid, where you're using other people's content. You see a lot of great YouTubers do this, a young woman who was born blind and has never seen anything her entire life. So this is a YouTube video that I found. I downloaded it using, there's different tools you can use, but I use Airy, I think. Yeah, I use Airy. It's just like, I don't know, it's $10 or something like that. You just take the URL, copy it, and paste it, and you can download it right to your computer. So this life, no colors, no shadows, no black, no light, nothing. Has a near-death experience and sees for the very first time.
A lot of people.
So now I'm taking her clip, right? So I'm talking and then I'm playing the clip. Back to me, back to that. And that's another way to create content. You can't just take content and upload the whole thing. You're violating fair use policy. But if you're using part of the content, part of your content, then that is okay with fair use policy. That's what I call kind of hybrid. Then there's the just screen recording your phone or your computer. One person, two characters. So you see a lot of this. It's hard. These are harder to make, but this is one here.
There are two types of ADHD anger. Hey, so I may have borrowed your car last night, got drunk, and smashed it into your garage. Oh, that's pretty intense. Don't worry, man. We'll take care of it. Hey, man. Looks like you're kind of struggling there. You need some help? Yeah, I could use some help. Maybe you could help me nail this into your head. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I meant, can you just hold this here for me real quick? There are two types of ADHD anger.
Right?
Hey, so I mean.
And then another one of his videos that I have on here is right here, and it's just first one that we did. It's like that one person, two character here, and I would consider that a story, really. And then he's also, he's giving value there. He's showing you something, but it's really more entertainment. And then he's demonstrating what it's like to be ADD, right? Now, this next one is a little bit more traditional here, but he's mixing and match. So right here, this is just pure aha moments, pure value.
Disorders you all get the most confused about. So what the hell do I have? Is it ADHD, borderline personality disorder, or bipolar? Let's clear the air once and for all. Let's start with bipolar. This is a mood disorder similar to depression. However, you also have these elevated episodes.
Just listing them out. What a lot of people do is they do the same style of video and they'll just use music. Or you could literally be cooking right now and with music in the background and then using the text to teach. And that's like a captivating visual, right? Or you could be playing with your dog. And then the rest of this video could be going, and then your opening that he just did there would have to be done with text overlay. Okay, that's just another style, and it works well with TikTok. Okay, would this also work as an ad with a call to action? Absolutely. Like if you had a call to action to this with, hey, go watch this free webinar on how to figure out how to overcome these things, this would kill it as an ad. The fact that it's got 1.3 million organic views. Okay, so that one has just tons of aha moments, right? He's listing here. Hold on, let's skip to the end so you can kind of see what it looks like. So by the end, he's got this list of all these three, right? It's kind of small, but he's doing it himself. He's not outsourcing it to some video editor on Upwork. It's got aha moments here. He's not really debunking a common belief, which is one of my favorites. A little bit of mystery there, but that's about it. One of my favorites is debunking common belief, and that's that first one that I teased you guys earlier. This one here.
I'm gonna get so much hate for this. Is a protein cookie healthier than a McDonald's cheeseburger? Just like before, we're gonna look at the entire cookie and the entire cheeseburger, because in all honesty, who's eating half a cookie? And when they advertise 16 grams of protein, they're referring to the whole cookie. Okay? First up, calories, you've got 400.
So you got mystery here. Big time mystery, right? But it's also debunking a common belief right out of the gate. And then it's also aha moments, right?
Okay,
by the time she gets to the end of it, she's listing this. And so you've got practical value for sure, informing you of like a new idea. You didn't even think, oh my gosh, right? You're debunking a common belief that the cheeseburger is actually healthier than the protein, supposedly healthy cookie, right? And then you've got mystery and curiosity. You want to know which one wins right at the beginning. And that's about it. There's a little bit of benefit and desire there because people want to be healthy, so they want to watch this maybe, as well. So really, it's all about figuring out what format is best for you and then experimenting. And the more you can see great examples, the better. And getting with the group that can really help you out here. So hashtags and hooks, craft your story, tutorial, or demonstration. Use a great hook. Give an aha moment. Use compelling text overlay. That's really going to hook them in. You can use text to do that and then use optimal hashtags. The text overlay is this. So let's say I'm going to do a video. Testing 1, 2, 3. You got to watch this video because it's so awesome. I'm going to do a video. Test next. Actually, the way they do it now, it's up here. I'm going to do a video. Testing 1, 2, 3. You got to watch this video because it's so awesome. I'm going to do a video. Testing 1. Testing 1, 2, 3. You got to watch this video. want to mute it just so I can do this. So this here, this is what I mean by the text. This is where you would, I can edit this and I can make it red if I want, and then just kind of play around with it. I like to just kind of the basic there. Not too low. You don't want it covering up your text here. So you got to kind of figure out where it's at there. And that's what I mean by the text overlay. And then optimal hashtags. Okay, we got to keep going here. We're running out of time. Like I said, there's the video genres there, the styles, and then the different hook elements. Aha moment, debunk common belief, mystery, curiosity, unexpected, pattern interrupt, demonstrate, emotional, credibility or authority, pain or problem, getting away from pain or problem or challenge or frustration, achieving a desire, benefit, and then symbolic thought, metaphors, analogies, powerful statistics, and then, an engagement call to action. That's where what I recommend doing typically is using the section here to get them to engage, not just to watch the video, because by the time they're reading your content here, they've already watched your video because they're seeing the video first. The description is written below the video. I like to use this to either get them to comment or to add in curiosity, like, number 3 is my favorite, or which one do you like the best, if it's like a list or something like that. Let's keep going here. Phase 4 is going to be edit. I just say edit simple and win. Learn how to edit and cut tight as possible. Don't overthink it. But more importantly, going through your videos and finding, is there a segment? Is there like a 10-second segment towards the end that you can bring in and edit back to the beginning to hook them in? Or is it a story that kind of builds? And so maybe you make your video and then you have to re-record an opening. And I've done that before with some of mine. I hook them in. I record it. I've already done it, edited, it's done. And then I go and I record an opening hook to really pull them in. And then publish is really all about hashtags. I call this publish and grow. Okay, so you're growing your followers, your views, your knowledge, and mostly your knowledge and experience here. Don't worry if your video doesn't do well, because you're learning. Every video that you do, the better you get. You don't realize how bad I naturally am at video. When I first started making videos, I was so bad, it was so embarrassing that somebody had the idea. It's like, maybe you should like swing a golf club and make videos. So this is like 10 years ago. And then I went out, I kind of lived by this sort of golf course community, and I put the camera on a tripod. This is like 2010. And then I would just swing a club. I'd just swing it back and forth, like practicing. And then I would shoot my video about something totally different. And all of a sudden, it just got me out of my head. And it was like, oh my gosh, it was such a crazy. That's why some of those makeup videos work so well, because they're using their phone as a mirror, their camera as a mirror, and they're just doing their makeup and they're telling a story about something else. It's not like makeup tutorial, but they're just talking about something and telling a story. And because they're doing their makeup, it gets them out of their head. And you're not overthinking it, and you can relax a little bit. And that's why the walk and talk videos can work so well, okay? But also, after I started getting more practice and reps in, I didn't have to swing the golf club anymore because I started getting more comfortable and getting better. And that's what happens when you start to build a skill. If you look at these screenshots here, you'll kind of, a couple other things. Sometimes we'll use a bonus hashtag there as a sticker. We want to use that text overlay as the headline or the hook. And then sometimes we'll use the description there as an engagement call to action. Make sure you read number 2 before on a number 1 pick. That gets them to, in this case, it's more of a curiosity call to action, but sometimes it's an engagement, like on the one on the right here. What do you think he says? Get them to comment. And then I use a kind of a curiosity hook as well. And then that's the profile button there on the right. Okay, so here's another one here. And then you can add subtitles. This is just using the native app. Sometimes you'll see the really cool, bigger subtitles. If they're doing that, they're using a third-party app, or they're using their Instagram video and doing it on Instagram and then bringing it over to TikTok. This one here behind me, I've got the electronic whiteboard there that I end up writing on, and that list there kind of adds some curiosity because it's an open loop. They see that list there in that timeline, and then they want to see what happens next. And do you have to do this with this? No, you could do this with literally just your camera pointing down on a piece of paper that you're going to draw something like timeline on, and then you just created that element of mystery. I typically use 8 to 9 hashtags, and I got to keep going here. So don't have a lot of time to go into this because we're super out of time right now, but hopefully you can join us on the live session that I'm going to be going a little bit deeper and answering questions and stuff like that. This is sort of the formula that I recommend using, but also breaking, okay? So for example, you'll do a video and you might use one of the super broad hashtags here, which is maybe over 300 million. I probably might even need to adjust these, to be honest with you, but typically I'll try to do is use one this big and then 2 hashtags from the next 4 categories. So I might have to this level, to this level, to this level, and to this level. So for example, let's go to sleep tips. Sleep tips. So that's got 172 million. That's pretty big. I mean, in my case, it's large. So we're going to use sleep tips. Now, you can't really, you can search a little bit, you know, when you type here, but really the way to, you want a lot of the researching stuff I was doing earlier is a way to search for hashtags as well. So I'm going to save this as a draft. I can go back to the search and go to sleep tips, but I can go here and I can go to hashtags. So now I can sort of see some other hashtags. But when you do that research phase, you're going to click into other videos and you'll come up with other ideas, more ideas that come out than just what show up with this search here. Newborn sleep tips, right? Click into that video.
Please tell me I am not.
There we go. So I've got like newborn sleep tips, learn on TikTok, TikTok partner. These aren't the best. Newborn care though, you know, that might come up with some ideas there.
Does your baby wake up every time you put them down to sleep?
How big is that one? That's 30 million. That's not bad, right? So 30 million, that's going to be probably a medium one. So what happens is these smaller hashtags are going to be less competitive, but not as many views. So when you're newer, you want to make sure and have a lot of these smaller ones here, and that's going to help you with your initial views. But then you want to make sure and have, sometimes I'll have 2 super broad. I won't always have just one of these. Sometimes I'll have 3 of these and 2 of these. Sometimes I'll have 2 or 3 of these and 1 of these. So this is a super general rule of thumb that I want to give you here. But remember, the hashtags are just one of the tools that the algorithm uses to kind of show your video to the initial people. If your video is good, it doesn't matter what hashtags you're using because they're going to it's going to blow up either way if it's really, really good. And that's what happens is a lot of people, they reverse engineer and they go see a video that's viral and it's got 3 million views or something. And they're like, well, they only used 1 hashtag or 2 hashtags. That doesn't mean you should only use 1 or 2. That just means that video was really dang good and they didn't really know what they were doing with hashtags. You might as well use optimal hashtags and that's going to just give you a leg up. Okay, that's just something to think about. The other thing is use hashtags to optimize for each individual video, not to attract specific types of followers. People use these random hashtags all the time because that's what they want. No, you don't want your video going out to the wrong people. Optimize each video itself. Don't put random hashtags on it that are for followers that you want or general. Only do kind of a general broad hashtag if it's also can relate to the video in some way as well, okay? All right, so we got to wrap this up here. So let's talk about some strategies for success. Pick one niche to create content around. This is really going to help you grow the fastest and not dilute those followers like that TikTok employee was talking about. And if something goes really viral, that's okay if it's fairly similar to your niche, okay? Something related to your passions, your hobbies, you know, and if you don't really know what that is, that's okay. Experiment a little bit. Ask questions though. Okay, so, and then, you know, think about what do you have authority, mastery, or knowledge in? Remember, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king, or the one-eyed woman is king. Everybody thinks they don't know enough, but if you take people along the journey, even if you let them know you're learning something yourself, then you will relate to people. If you wait too long until you have so much authority, sometimes you forget the basics and you can't even relate to people anymore. So don't worry about it and just start creating. Research, research, research. Follow 20 to 30 creators. Pick the top 3 to 5 people, follow them, grab their URLs, pick 3 to 5 video topics, write down 3 to 5 video topics, write down 3 to 5 hooks. You're pulling those from these videos, 5 to 10 hashtags. Start to make a list of potential hashtags for you, potential hooks, you know, get 10 or 20 if you want. And then try to narrow in on figuring out who your audience is. It's going to make it much easier for you to make different types of content. Because, okay, that's okay if it's a little bit different type because it'll still resonate with this overarching type of person. That's how I'm looking at it with my stuff. It's like life purpose type of content, what happens after he dies, those types of things. On my other account, it's going to be for more marketing and big ideas. It'll be more like how to grow on TikTok or how to run profitable ads. But it could also be something related to total business in general, like starting an online business or finance. That's okay, I think, too, because it's still going to resonate with that entrepreneur. Then make a 6-month commitment to post videos until something takes off. I don't care if it's 1 a day or 2 or 3 or 4 a week. You don't have to be doing 6 a day like half the people are saying out there, or 3 a day, unless you want to do that right away just to get practice. But You're going to be better off committing to like 1 a day or 3 to 5 a week and just keep going until one takes off, because that's going to give you more motivation to keep going. And it's just going to open your mind to what's possible. And it's really cool because we just have a platform here that we have the perfect storm. We really, really do. Of it's mature enough so you can blow up, but it still has a lot of aging up to do. There's still tens of millions of people that are going to be coming onto this platform more consistently in the older demographic over the next 4 to 5 to 6 years. But really, it's this next 12 to 14 months that we have to really still be able to stand out and grow really quickly without it being so ultra competitive. So I really, really recommend you jumping in and, you know, taking what you learned today and just picking a topic, picking a style. When in doubt, if you're teaching stuff, you know, narrow in on that one specific thing, that one tactic, that one exercise. And hit me up, you know, like if you want to, I'd really love it. If you want to go deeper, we'll make sure you guys can have access to a link to join our program. I've got like, I think a couple options now where you can just get the course only, or ideally you can come in and you can get the Friday calls where I'm doing. You come in and you come on the Friday calls where I'm literally critiquing your specific videos or your niche, other videos, and it's really where the magic happens. So I recommend doing that. Coming on the live session that we're going to do with Sam Cart and Creator U. Absolutely, if you're not a member in that level already, join it because it's going to be awesome. And let's do it. If you have any questions, you know, hit me up. My email is keith@dominatewebmedia.com. Other than that, I hope this was helpful, and I'm super excited to see what you do, because everybody that is taking action is getting results. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Okay, that's all it is. And just figuring out like how to make a better hook. And you will once you get to practice. All right, other than that, I got to wrap this up, and hopefully I'll see your video in my feed.